Hey there folks, today we're going to be doing a video. We're going to be discussing plastic and resin lures for kokanee. Now when I first started kokanee fishing, there was a few plastic style spoons out there on the market, and I will be fishing some of those today. But we've really seen a massive diversification and proliferation of sort of cottage industry kokanee tackle, especially with the advent of 3D printers. We're seeing some really creative kokanee lures coming out on the market that are, plastic based or resin based. So today we're going to do 5 different lures. I think we can classify these largely into different groups, but I have to start with the kokanee cut plug from Brad's Killer Fishing Gear. Now they actually came out with larger cut plug series. There was a mini cut plug that we were running for a long time for kokanee, and it works great. But then they came out with this smaller, more kokanee sized one, and it's spurred a whole bunch of different similar lures. So there's a bunch of companies, I wouldn't say they've knocked off this lure, but they've created sort of the same style of lure that rotates around, sort of that cut plug herring style lure for kokanee. So for example, I know like Deadly Venom Tackle has a smaller version, the Tasman cut plug, and even Hawken has come out with a cut plug style lure that works for kokanee. But I really want to pay homage to the original one. The nice thing about the original Brad's cut plug that a lot of the other cut plugs don't have is this one can operate as a scent chamber in itself, so you can fill it with tuna or whatever you'd like. You can put foam in there that comes with it and scent and load it. I'm not going to do that today because I'm going to be putting bait on the hooks behind it, and I've always found that to be sufficient. I'm going to run this one on a relatively short leader. You can run these on long leaders. You can run them behind lake trolls. I'm going to run this one, just about 10 inches behind a Nebo Cyclops blade in chartreuse moon jelly and gold on the back. So this is the rotten banana. We'll see if it catches some fish today. I'm not going to drop my temperature sensor down there because I'm already marking a fair number of fish in the 30 to 40 foot range, so I'm just going to drop the downrigger down there. I'm going to do about a 30 foot setback and then put this at 35. Oop. I got a fish on dropping it down. It always happens to me. Like first drop, just dropping the back on the downrigger and I hook up. That was right when I got it down to like 35 feet. He's jumping. Oh, he came off. I had to turn around there because I was going to run into the shoreline. Lost the tension on him. Well, that's a good sign. I don't think I got a very good hook set on him because I was still dropping it down and then I felt it come off the clip. All right, let's do that again, but let's land the fish and not be trolling right at the shore. And the other lure I'm going to start with over here is a Gibbs TKO. This is a silver and moon jelly. I'm rigging it with their factory hooks, which are really robust. I think a little too robust for kokanee, but we'll see how they do. Now there's a bunch of plastic spoons that are shaped like this. There's the Kokanee Killer from Pro Troll. There's the Apex spoons, and there's a bunch of companies that produce similar sort of curved spoons, plastic spoons like this, that all fundamentally are built around the same concept of this erratic action. So we're gonna run this one. Hopefully I can land them on those massive hooks that they put on there. I don't know why kokanee manufacturers can't seem to wrap their mind around fine gauge wire hooks, but it is what it is, I guess. This one I'm gonna be running on a snap weight. I'll probably put it 3 ounces, maybe 100 foot back after snapping in. Should put me in the 30-40 foot range. I'm running this one on a longer leader. That's the thing about all of these lures today, is they can be run on short leaders behind dodgers or long leaders because a lot of them are going to have their own action. So I gave this one a pretty long leader. They actually had it like pre-tied with like a 4-foot leader, but I shrunk that down to a couple foot. Running it behind a Chubb's Firebread. It's very erratic back there. Oop, there's fish from the breads. Nice. I love that rotten banana. For a long time I ran the mini cut plugs at Merwin before they came out with these kokanee cut plugs, and they've always been hugely effective, and it's no surprise that lots of other companies have tried to sort of mimic the same action that those lures have just because of their efficacy. Putting up a good fight. Nice kokanee. Big fish. Here we go. Got him in the boat. Awesome. Thick fish too. Okay, so there we go. Nice chunky kokanee on kokanee cut plug from Brad's. There they go. Nice fish. Surface temperature is up to 70 now, so they get pretty soft pretty fast on the surface, so it's best to get them on ice, bled and on ice as fast as possible. Oh, I was just dropping that back a little bit, the TKO, and I just got hit. All right, TKO's got one on. I marked the fish a little bit deeper at 45. I was like, oh, I'll push this back a little bit. Must have been a fish following it. I really liked the silver moon jelly spoon on this one. I have a bunch of Pro Troll kokanee killers and a few apexes, but I really liked this metallic one here. See if we can get number 2 in the boat here. And then we'll just do a complete lure switch up. Oop, hung up in my net. Can skate that chub across the surface. We can get that fish in the boat. Here he comes. Got him. Nice. Kokanee number 2 in the boat for the day. There you go. One on the TKO. Not too bad. Good 13, 14-inch fish. They have a little spacer back there for the hooks. So this next lure is a really cool lure from a supporter of my channel. He's been a supporter for a very long time. It's essentially a 3D printed rotating hoochie type lure called the Tailspin Scud. The name of his tackle company is called Salmonoid Lures. And what's really neat about this lure, so it's a rotating lure, but I think what's really clever about it most of all is that it comes in 3 components. There's the head, there's the abdomen, and then there's the rotating wings. And he has a whole bunch of colors, but all 3 of those components can be easily separated. You can separate the head using your fingers, and you can use a hex tool to remove the abdomen. So you can change the colors up. If you bought 2 lures with 3 different components, you actually can do 8 different combinations. If you bought 3 of his lures, you could do 27 different combinations of colors with different head, wings, and abdomen colors. It's just a really clever design. They're really well manufactured. The eyes are deeply embedded in there inside the head. There's like a recess that they lock down into. So they're just a really cool lure. They spin really fast. So we're gonna throw this one in behind the Nebo and put it on the downrigger and see if I'm doing the pink and purple here. See if we can get some fish to smack the old Tailspin Scud. Yeah, it rotates so incredibly smooth and fast. And those wings have a little bit of, you can get moon jelly. He has different color tape on the wings so that you can get different effects and color effects. They're really lightweight and they throw around really well behind a Dodger. And then over here we're going to run a lure from Australia. This is the Tasmanian Devil. Now there's two different models of the Devils. There's a trolling model and a casting model. They come in a bunch of great colors. It's basically like a core lead body encased in plastic wings, and it gives it a fluttering action. I'm going to put this one behind the Chub Dodger because the Chub Dodgers have a little bit more weight. It'll help to throw around this little bit weightier lure. This is probably the weightiest lure I've got. I'm going to run today because it is in fact a little bit of lead core body there encased in plastic. It's just hollow, so you run your line through it just like a lot of the lures today, and you put a bead down here to protect your knots. Oop, there's one. Got one on the Devil. Nice. The Aussie lure strikes first. Now these lures come in a bunch of really great kokanee colors. They have this pink one, they have orange, they have pink and blue. And what's even neater is they have several of them that like the color on the wings is sometimes clear like on this one, but there's others that it's tinted color. So you can really get some very bright attractor colors that kokanee will respond to well. When the surface water temperatures get really warm like this, once you bring those kokanee up to that 65-degree water, a lot of times they just kind of give up the ghost like this fish did. Oop. Now he's waking up. Come here. There we go. Got him. Here's that Tasmanian Devil lure on kokanee. Really bright pink, blows out the camera. Alright, number 3 for the day. Backlit for you guys, almost certainly. Next up, we're going to do the dancing bug. This was designed by another follower of mine. His name's Tim, and he's selling these through Paulina Peak. And it's a really clever and unique, like almost vortex 3D printed plastic lure. And this lure combines sort of that sloping front that you get on the front of a cut plug or on like the TKO spoon, but then it's also got a twist to the body with a unique shape that gives it a really erratic action. So we're gonna start with this orange and chartreuse one behind the Chub Dodger here. See if we can get a fish to hit this thing. I got a couple different colors with me. They have a bunch of different colors, some with glow bottoms. They got Wonder Bread, pinks, chartreuse, pink and purple. So lots of those classic productive kokanee colors. These again can be run behind the lake troll or behind the Dodger. It's been about 30 minutes now. No bites. We had 4 bites in less than 30 minutes this morning. I pretty quickly got one on the cut plug, got one on the TKO, got one on the Tasmanian Devil. We also lost another on the cut plug. I think the morning feed quickly died. Been about 30 minutes here. No bites. I'm going through fish. Might need to change some colors up here. Give it a little bit longer. What's going on? Pulled through. Oop. There's one on the dancing bug. That's in the orange color. Orange and chartreuse. A little bit of a lull in the bite there. Took about a half hour plowing through them to finally get one to commit. That happens to me a lot. I'll get that like first early morning bite and then there's just a little pause and things start to ramp back up. Sometimes they never do. There's some lakes I just can't get fish to bite past 9 o'clock. But there we go, in the net. Oh, there's one on the doubles to end the day. Is he still there? Let's see if he's still there. Oh, he's off. Dang it. Yeah. That's a bummer. Had one on the Salmonoid. Alright, so there's that dancing bug. And there's the kokanee. Not a bad fish. We're getting really weird color because of the heavy smoke out here, so everything's kind of golden color right now. Seems like the lure is running behind the chub dodgers today. They're getting a tad bit more action. So we'll rebait this pink and purple tailspin scud, and then I'm going to put an orange tailspin scud behind the chub dodger and see if we can't get one to end the day. There's one. That was on the pink and purple tailspin scud. Woo. Ooh. Put up a good fight. That is a huge kokanee. That's a really nice fish. That'd be the nicest fish of the day. For sure. Good grief. Got him. Gosh. That fish is definitely in the 17, 18 inch class. That's a nice fish. Gorgeous. There's a really nice kokanee on that tailspin scud. It's a big fish. Really big fish. All right, that was a really fun experiment, just trying out a bunch of these plastic and resin lures. It's just really neat to see how creative people have become in creating kokanee lures. Each lure I featured today has its own really unique action that makes it stand out from the others. And that's why I wanted to share them with you. I'll put links to all of them below if you want to check them out. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. And I'll see you next time. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye, guys.